Hello, good customers. This is Dan here at US Roaster Corp in Oklahoma City. I was just going to go over how to adjust a bearing on our 12 to 300 kilo roasters. It's all pretty much the same. All these roasters have what we call a set collar right here that tightens down and keeps the front of the collar from turning, which houses the bearing. This is supplied with a wrench that will fit this so you can loosen the collar off. Then you can take the front bearing housing and you can screw it out or you can screw it back in. Once you get the adjustment where you want it, you simply just tighten this up until it's snug, never pound it. The threads in our bearing housings also, when they come to you, they have never sees on them. After you've had the roaster a year or two, it wouldn't hurt to back it out sometime and apply some never sees into the threads. That will prevent the threads over time from getting hard to turn. So again, just a little bit. I'm opening the drum door. Inside of here is a little hard to see. I'm going to try where you can see it down here. There's a gap here between the drum and the faceplate of the roaster. This is also ringed, so the drum actually rides inside of a gap that we've got a ring that's cut. What that does is it allows the roaster not to drop beans into its tray below or on the burner that could cause fires. That's why you want the drum set very close to the front. Generally, when the drum is cold, a nickel can fit into this gap where my finger is right here. I'm trying to make sure you can see this a little bit. My finger is, you can put a nickel in there. And the nickel is just about right when the roaster is cold. And you can increase or make that gap bigger. You can see it growing a little bit right now as I screw it back in. Or you can see it getting smaller as I screw it back out. Also, just for your knowledge, make sure we cover these things. You have a grease cap here on the front. You unscrew, you fill with grease. Each day when you're roasting, every 4 hours, you give it about a turn. That puts a couple drops of oil into the bearing. The bearing is an industrial bearing that rides back here in the housing, back behind these cap screws. There's a nut and a washer. Then the bearings behind them that the shaft goes through, which the whole drum turns on. What this shaft is about is to keep the drum free turning, and the bearing on the front, when you put this grease in, the front cover of the bearing has been removed, so it forces a little bit of grease into the bearing. There's a seal back behind the bearing to keep the oil from migrating and the grease into the roaster. Please use a high temperature food grade grease. Is available at McMasterCar.com, or you can contact us for this type of grease. Cover a little bit deeper inside the roasting drum. Probably won't be able to see in here, but to reach inside the drum, you'll see some pictures included the roaster, which are showing some cap screws up in here in the top of the drum. Probably won't be able to see a thing. Those are how you tighten the drum to the roaster shaft. These little screws right here on the faceplate, these are how you can tweak the roaster a little bit if the roasting drum is not running quite flat enough. We ship it to you that way, but rough handling, maybe you've had a fire or two in the roaster over the years, you'll need to be able to tweak the faceplate so the roaster drum can run inside of the ring that's cut in its faceplate. Prevents the breather drop. Anyway, I just wanted to cover this with you a little bit on a little video. Please always come to training. We'd love to have you here. Thank you very much.